Welcome back. I'm Paranoid Rat, and I am here with more art for you ratlings to feast upon. So sit your asses down, it's time to draw some shit. I guess I'm obsessed now with designing characters based off of crystals, and I'm doing that again this week. If you want to see more, there's a video that I already posted with more of these character designs, but you do not need to watch that before this. It does not matter. It's the same thing. So, first up this week, I wanted to design Mahogany Obsidian. This is one I kind of wanted to do last week, just because I think it's so gorgeous and pretty, but I decided just to hold off, because it's a little bit more niche. I just think the coloring and the pattern of the black spots were super cool. It called to me, okay? This stone's spiritual meanings are associated with, like, grounding, courage, protection from psychic attacks, creativity, and opening your mind, and, like, strength and vitality and stuff. I really love doing these designs because it's so fun reading about these stones and then trying to take those traits and turning them into a person. I knew from the start that I wanted this character to have skin that looks like the crystal itself. It's kind of, like, inspired by vitiligo, but not quite. And I'm not really focused on realism for these designs and didn't want to be locked into a box and make them like 100% realistic, so yes, we got cool skin patterns. I also wanted to have really strong, athletic, sturdy build. Mahogany Obsidian supposedly is really connected to the lower chakras and is recommended to be worn on like your ankles or something. This is kind of a less obvious thing, but I wanted to make her body more like bottom heavy, if that makes sense. Just really pronounce that aspect of the design, so she got like wider hips and thighs and is barefoot for grounding and stuff. I struggled far too much on her hair and what direction I wanted to go for that. I really wanted like the creative aspects of this character to come through in her design, so part of me wanted to do like a less common hairstyle, but I don't know, man, I couldn't find anything that really worked that had like enough symbolism for my liking. But in the end, I set it on this like messy and fluffy afro thing. It creates a cool framing around her face and head that's kind of meant to represent how this stone protects you from like psychic attacks. So it's kind of like armor for her head, but hair, if I'm making any sense here. But then I added two little side braids woven with like beads and evil eyes. And in my research, I found that lotus flowers are a symbol of opening your mind, which, you know, makes sense given like the shape and the actual flower. So I got one of those and put it in her hair. I feel like this would be the sort of character who would customize her clothes and draw and paint on them and stuff. She feels like she's always like running around barefoot outside, always got some new weird adventure she's on, and probably ate dirt as a child. Maybe still does now, we're not fully sure. When I was coloring this, I really tried to stick to the earthy orange and browns of the crystal, which looked great, but it felt a little too monochromatic, so I'm glad I decided to add in like the evil eyes, because I was able to then use blue as an accent color. Usually I hate using blue and orange together, but I feel like it works really well here, especially since the oranges are more brown and red in hue and the blue is a bit more muted. I don't know, it looks cool. I love her. She's so pretty, and I feel like you get like a pretty good sense of her character from this. So all in all, I'm very happy with this one. I think it turned out well. Huzzah! And because she's pretty. Before I continue, I'm gonna give you guys the names you suggested on my last video. I love these. Thank you to everybody who commented with suggestions. I get so giddy when I read all the little ideas you have about my silly little character designs. So, that's that. Moving on. Okay, next up we have Opal. This was one that was suggested to me by my friend, and I always thought opals were super cool and pretty. Like, look at these. Look at these colors. Holy shit. So opal is associated with like self-expression, improving self-esteem, love, and a focus on like family and relationships. It also does protect from negative energies, but when I was reading and researching for this video, the sources I found described it as like more reflecting away negative energy, which definitely got some ideas rolling in my little old brain. And as I was trying to decide where I wanted to take this, the demons whispered in my ear to make him a femboy, and I had to obey. Femboy it is. And you know, it feels fitting with the whole focus on like self-expression and confidence and such. So yeah, that was my base concept. I struggled a lot with how I wanted to dress them and finding good references. I ended up going for this like vaguely Rococo inspired look. Pinterest saved my ass for this one, and I was able to make my own thing here. I tried to make it very visually interesting with different textures and fabrics and details just to give it a more complex look. For some reason, from the start, I knew he needed heart-shaped glasses, so I made sure he got those. Opals are associated with the heart chakra, so I did include like a few heart motifs in the design. In the fabric and lacy parts of his shorts, I wanted to put in symbols in like the little pattern, so I drew these tiny little people-inspired figures to represent the relationship aspect of the crystal, and then above I also added like a little heart design because I thought it was cute. I also then wanted to include the reflection part, so I was able to switch up this pose so he could have a little handheld mirror. I felt like the pose is kind of stiff and it looks very staged, but also I feel like it wouldn't be too far of a stretch for this guy to be carrying around a mirror on the regular, so it gets a pass. And you know, it's my art, I make the rules. I say he get a mirror, mirror he get. Opal is commonly turned into jewelry, especially earrings and pendants, so he got both of those as well. The colors were challenging to say the least, but we figured it out. Opals are like so colorful and have everything from like golds to eye-numbing greens to blue to pastel pink to neon pink. So a lot is going on and not my usual color palette. This kind of bright colors is something I almost never work with, let alone on a character design. But I feel like in the end they worked out and you can see the resemblance between the character and the crystal. I feel like this character is very over the top, flamboyant, in your face with their confidence type. It might be like a little self-obsessed, but at the end of the day, they try to put the relationships and people in their life first. They're probably the one who would yell at you to go treat yourself and kidnap you to take you shopping. I'm really happy with this and how it turned out. The colors may have tried to murder me, but I prevail once again. And lastly, we have Rose Quartz. Rose Quartz is one that I always really liked. Rose Quartz is often known as the Love Stone. It's associated with unconditional love, self-love, inner peace, opening the heart chakra, and just all around fostering love and peace and passion in any kind of relationship. I really like this one because it's about any kind of love. It's not just romantic love, it's also about love for your family and friends and especially yourself. So love in general, which I like, it's nice, it's fun to see. And at first, when I'm picturing Rose Quartz as a person, I naturally am imagining like a curvy, hyperfemme, pretty Aphrodite-esque character, which made me just pause and think for a second about why. Why is it that societally love and self-love and pink and roses are inherently tied to women? So I had a whole debate with myself, but decided fuck it, we're going trans, masc, non-binary person, let's go. But I feel like it's really fitting once I thought about it. What demonstrates self-love and inner peace more than choosing to transition and to be yourself? And yeah, they have a chubbier body and body hair and scars, and they're still beautiful and love themselves. So yeah, anyway, that's the direction we're going today. So this one got a lot of heart motifs. It's basically anywhere I could. Heart carabiner, heart necklaces, heart tattoo, heart bangs, etc. That's a little like keychain hanging off the heart carabiner. I made it like a little red cross just because Rose Quartz is said to be able to assist in the healing of things like grief, emotional wounds, ease heartache, and like promote like forgiveness and health. I also made one of their necklaces have a rune for love on it because I can. They got lots of jewelry, necklaces, bracelets, rings, all of it, even facial piercings. Because Rose Quartz is one that's really good to just like wear on your body. Colors were easy, and I stuck to the fairly monochromatic pink color scheme, which was really fun to work with because I really like coloring with pink for some reason. I included like little accents of white to partially break up the monotony, but also because of like the white you can see on the raw edges of quartz itself. Where opal was the more like energetic side of self-love and the confidence thing, I feel like Rose Quartz is a lot softer and gentler and quiet. They're always a friend you can come to talk, and they'll listen and give advice and maybe make you a cup of tea with cookies or something. And they will yell at you to hydrate or die straight. Very much the old soul, wise mom friend type. And as I've drawn, like 6 of these character designs, I already thought it'd be kind of cool if they all existed in the same world together and knew each other. But, like, families are kind of based on the same kind of crystal you are. Like, rose quartz would be siblings with clear quartz from last week. And something similar for, like, obsidian and mahogany obsidian. Although those guys give way more of, like, a cousin-like relationship to me. Anyways, yeah, that's what I think about. If you have any name ideas or headcanons or story ideas for these characters, tell me about them in the comments. I love hearing it. And my favorite names will be shared in my next character design video. So, you know, if you're lucky and get chosen for that, that'd be fun. Alrighty, that's all for this week. I was very much last minute scrambling to finish this on time. No joke, I only finished the script like 12 hours before the whole video was supposed to be published. But here we are, alive with art for you all. I hope you enjoyed this week. If you like this video, go check out my video from last week where I rambled about crystals and character design and some more. And just any sort of interaction with my content helps me tons. Even if it's just saying hi in the comments or viewing this video to the end. Thank you for sticking around, and feel free to join my army of ratlings on this channel or on my other socials. I will see you all next week with more art for my starving ratlings. Until then, ciao!